Good morning guys, this is a bit of a follow-up to my recent shop tour, and we're looking at our shop now, mine and Christine's shop. And I said I'd get back and let you know what's happened with my original shop, which you can see behind me now. It's an overcast morning, so let's go and have a bit of a walk. We'll have a look in the shop, we might have a peek out the backyard, and when the girls open their new businesses there, we might have a bit of a look in. For those of you that have been following my channel for a long time, you'll remember the great backyard cleanup and the shop there that I was in for 20 years. I lived out the back. The backyard was a interesting challenge, let me just say. If you haven't seen that playlist, go and have a look. That backyard cleanup started off as just something of interest to sort out because I knew I'd have to do it one day. It ended up being quite a tense and time pressure job. And to make matters worse, I had injuries and all sorts of stuff. It was a great effort. We made the deadline, and you'll be amazed what was in that yard. Anyway, let's go and have a look at how the shop stands now. For those new to the channel, as I just look for traffic as I'm walking across the road, Christine and myself run a second-hand antique / recycling business where we clean out people's houses, quite often deceased estates. We clean out sheds. We deal in almost everything, and we specialise in things not going to the tip. My business has been called Sundries Too Numerous to Mention for for about 20 years now, and I'll talk about my journey in an upcoming video. I've had a few people request my story, and I'll explain why I took that name. Christine originally had a fabric shop under here, Stitch This, giftware and fabric supplies. Can you see that against the light? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. And we've kind of morphed into a business which really can be summed up by more than you'd expect. Anyway, enough about that. We're going to have a look at my old shop where I was situated for almost 20 years. It's been painted since. I'm pleased they saved the building. The simple story was I was leasing it for a long term. I had a few different landlords over that time, and it was sold only just early last year under the conditions of vacant possession, which meant I had to leave, and to my surprise it sold very quickly, which put us under a lot of pressure. Now I'm pleased that they saved the building because there was talk of the old building being totally demolished. It did need a lot of work. We actually did make an offer to the landlords at the time, which was much lower than they were expecting, but I knew how bad it was. And as it turned out, I'm very glad we didn't buy it because it would have consumed the rest of our lives. This side of the shop, it's now split back into two shops. I used to have it just as one. And this side of the shop is the smaller of the two. Both shops are clothing now, which goes really well in our little busy town here. For those that are new to the channel as well, it's a small country town around about an hour and a little bit north of Melbourne. Very busy touristy spot, beautiful area. And it's summer now, it's earlier in the morning. In an hour or so you will not get a park in town. It's a very busy place and a great spot to have a business. So when the ladies open here, we'll go and have a look inside and just see what they've done to the building, because it's going to be pretty hard through the reflection to see. But they have done the building up very nicely. So perhaps later today, if they're not busy, we might have a walk through. And I haven't got the key to go down the side lane just at the moment, so we'll get back to that shortly. Just found the key. Let's have a look down the side lane here. This lane is half our side and half my old shop side, so it's a shared lane. They do plan to concrete this shortly. Some of the renovations are yet to be finished up, which will be much neater when it's concreted. So I've been using this side as obviously a spot to keep our bins, but also as e-waste has dropped off and some stock that I put out the shop, out the front for sale. But it's a handy storage area for me where I can actually stack up bins full of insulated copper wire, and I have a few other crates and things here for various scrap. It just saves loading it all up at home, and it's really easy access for loading here. So the shop has been completely painted, the old building. It's pretty rough still, but you know, slap a bit of paint on, I guess it'll last a bit longer. And here's the yard now. Probably, geez, I don't know when I last filmed this yard, but the big cleanup happened here. It was absolutely massive. We took a lot of stuff out of this yard and we were under pressure. It's a little bit annoying, I guess, to be told at the time that it had to be done by a certain date or legal issues will occur. And as it's turned out, it's spent over 12 months with nothing but them having to slash it every now and again because the weeds got out of control. And they've just park cars here. I mean, nothing else has happened. The only tree left is a peach tree, which I think they're going to have to get rid of because we do get fruit fly in this area and looks like no one's attending it. This area, if you remember, is where I used to grow my strawberries, and there we did some coffee grounds experiments, and I'm sure that soil will still be nice and fertile. But the rest of the yard's pretty much just empty and neglected, I guess. The back of the building, they've done some major work inside. They've taken out the old back door and a little lean-to area and put in a large sliding door. They've opened up the whole side of that shop and they've put a concrete slab there. So there's been quite a bit of work done to the building. Structurally underneath they had to do a lot. The floor and the stumps and everything were pretty well rotted away, and there was a lot of white ant damage. And down the side they've neatened up, they've put some air conditioners and everything. So they've done a great job in saving the building. Nothing's been done to the roof, and I don't know if they've got water leaks inside. I know I used to have a few, but otherwise, yeah, there's been a lot of money spent on it. Okay, it's now Sunday morning. I did not get a chance to come and film yesterday. We were smashed with customers all day, and I've just seen Sam in here, and she said I can have a quick peek in here with the camera to show you what this part of my old shop now looks like. It's been done up beautifully. This, if you remember, was actually my bloke's room with all the old tools and everything in it. It looks nothing like it used to. I never used this door actually. So it's all been replastered. They've managed to save the floorboards, which is fantastic. They've come up really well. There was a bit of patching required and a lot of reblocking underneath, but it's come up great. Sam has the luxury of air conditioning, which I never had in this room. Downlights, all very modern. And the opening here was a solid wall, and that was my kitchen room. So the hallway that used to go down was through here. That's been blocked off, and I think that's now a change room. And the kitchen room has kept the old original lining boards, which is nice, whereas the front's been plastered. And the door through the back was not original. That's been recreated, and that goes into what used to be my bedroom, which is now a storeroom, and that completely isolates this shop from the other part of the building. So yeah, the builders have done a great job. Really nice atmosphere. I hope that music isn't royalty. There's Sam. Hope you have a good day. We'll go and have a look at the other shop next door. And now to pick a gap between customers to go into the other part of the shop. Now this was my main door, and as you can see, it's 2 air conditioners, totally different to my old shop, all plastered out. And the big improvement in this one is, look what they've done with the floor. They had to take all the floorboards and the stumps out because there was a lot of damage, and they've concreted the whole lot and polished it. It's actually really nice and modern, which is great for a clothing shop like this. It kind of lost a lot of character from what I enjoyed about the old shop, but for what its purpose is now, it's absolutely fantastic. So Lisa and Caitlin run this shop, and more clothing, very popular around here, and they've got it laid out beautifully, lots of colour, rugs on the floor, lots of downlights, and you can see they've opened up all the rooms. They have retained the old fireplace and brought back the original brick, which is nice. So, geez, it's even hard to work out where I am. This was the front part of my shop, and my counter was just over there. And then the hallway they've blocked off, and that's now change rooms. Oh no, change rooms at the back. It must be toilet perhaps in there, and storage rooms. So this part was the middle part of my shop, and then the wall that went into my tech room is totally gone, so it's all one room. And behind that fireplace, and where the change rooms now are, was actually the lounge room of my house. So they've just reconfigured the whole building. The hallway went down through there, of course, so it's all totally changed. It looks fantastic. So I'm really pleased they saved the building. It has certainly changed interior. You wouldn't even know it's a 130-year-old building, except for the original windows. So fantastic effort, and the ladies here are doing an awesome job. So that one is, the business is called Hilda May, and they've been going for a few months now. They originally started in this side and then moved to the other side, and Sam's only just recently started a week or two ago, and her business is Boutique by the Lake. So if you're in the district and you're interested in some lovely fashionable clothing, a long way different to what my shop used to sell, but at least it's got 2 new businesses in the main street and great neighbours for us. So I'll finish this tour up now. As you can see, the town is filling up already. There's throngs of tourists around. We're going to have another busy day, and that now concludes my video and shows you what the old chopper's turned into. I hope you've enjoyed that. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.